De momento de nuevo huele bastante a plástico caliente, normal en este tipo de aparatos cuando se le da un primer encendido. Veremos a ver el tiempo que dura. Como vemos va subiendo la indicación de temperatura. Este es el mando que trae, las funciones de movimiento, de power. El power, el aparato vuelve a la posición central, sigue ventilando, aunque lleva poco tiempo encendido, sigue ventilando un poco, apaga el display, sigue refrigerando un poco todavía el sistema calentador. Y un calentador cerámico en zigzag ahí. Tiene un modo temporizador, un nivel de regulación más menos, nivel de temperatura y una luz. En el modo apagado la luz no funciona. Encendemos, como vemos, la temperatura vuelve a recuperar enseguida la temperatura que mostraba antes del apagado. La temperatura ambiental era la que había mostrado en un primer momento. Ahora va subiendo. Con esta regulación ponemos la potencia y con esta es con la que vamos a regular donde queremos que haga el corte de la temperatura. Como hemos visto que estábamos sobre unos 24, está subiendo ahora desde 21, un primer nivel de 24, vamos a bajarlo un poco a 22. Voy a moverlo un poco porque el calor, tenerlo de frente es un poco agobiante. Ahora está marcando 22.2, 22.3, 22.4, pero no he observado que funcione el termostato. Está en 23. Está llegando ya casi a los 23. $23.2. Está llegando casi a 23,5 y de momento sigue echando chorro de calor. 23,6. Ahora ha subido la temperatura a 24. 8. El modo económico es el modo 2, que tiene menos ventilación, menos calor. Memoria, temperatura. Este no tiene temperatura, hay que darle temperatura aquí. Temperatura. Fijamos 22, memorizamos, se supone, y sigue en funcionamiento. No veo que funcione ningún termostato. Ahora sigue ventilando, pero ya no emite calor. La temperatura, según esto, está en 21. Sigue ventilando. Vamos a subirlo. Temperatura 23. 23. Y de nuevo inicia el calentamiento, ya vuelve a salir otra vez el aire en caliente. La indicación está en que tenemos 24. Ahí se ha activado. Ahora mismo acaba de apagarse. Ahora inicia el calentamiento fuerte. ¿Para qué más? 20,6. No entiendo entonces por qué hace un momento eran 24, de repente va a bajar a 22. Deben de haber dos temperaturas, una la ambiental y otra la del propio calentador. El modo temporizador es un apagado programado que va desde 1 hora aquí, una hora, 2 horas, 3 horas, 4 horas, 5 horas, hasta el 12. Esa es la programación del tiempo para el encendido, porque luego aquí hay otro reloj marcado con el apagado. Estos son los niveles para estar en enfriamiento. Una hora, 2 horas, 3 horas, 4 horas, va subiendo. Ah, supresión del temporizador, vale. Con una tecla ponemos el temporizador, lo podemos subir o bajar, y con la otra lo que hacemos es suprimirlo. El modo temporizador.
Hey, what's going on, Amazon? Today we're going to take a look at this heater, and I'm going to let you guys know off the bat that this is not one that I'm completely thrilled with. Just to let you know, I have tested this and used it. This is not fresh out of the box review. This is, you know, I've had it for a couple weeks and I'm still not happy with it. I wasn't happy with it out of the box either, but I thought I'd give it a shot and a fair shake. And after a couple weeks worth of use, forcing myself to use it, even though I didn't originally like it, I still don't like it. And this is why. So just a quick overview on the unit. It's pretty big. We'll say it's 2.5 hands tall. And on the back, here's one of my main points of contention here. I don't know if the camera is going to get that. Those are computer fans. All right, and there's 2 of them. So there's 2 DC fans in here. Now, when this unit is on, even when it's not producing heat, those fans run continuously. So as soon as the unit is switched on, whether the heat is being generated or not, those fans are running. So the entire time the unit is on, this is making fan noise. And you never know when it's actually producing heat and when it's not producing heat, unless you hear the subtle click of the thermostat, which we'll get into here in just a second. So anyway, the 2 fans are on the, first of all, it has 2 fans. I don't know, whatever. It has 2 fans, but they always run. They can never be turned off. Second of all, for a unit in this price range, it came with a remote without batteries. So batteries should definitely be included. That's another thing I wasn't too thrilled about out of the box. Also, this remote is very hard to see when it's not in front of makeshift studio lighting here, okay? It's black. See, if I take it away, even it's kind of hard to see on camera even. So it's just grayscale icons on a black remote, and there's no LED indicators or lights or anything to see what's going on. There's no tactile feel. There's no nubs or bumps on this to figure out where, you know, you're placing your finger. So it's, the remote could have been done a lot better. And on top of it, the temperature function on the remote only cycles through the unit in one direction. So you have to go all the way around in order to turn it down a degree or 2, which is really, really, really annoying because it takes forever to cycle through all the way up to 95 degrees and then start back over in the 60s. Now, speaking of the thermostat itself, this thing can be set at like 62, 64 degrees or whatever, and the display can tell me the room temp, or the temp that it thinks the room is like 73 or 74 or 76, something, you know, 8 to 10 degrees higher than what it's set at. And this unit will still be producing heat. It will not switch itself off. I don't understand that. If this unit thinks it's 8 to 10 degrees warmer than what I have it set at, why is it still throwing heat? Like, it should be switched off at that point until the unit thinks it's cold again and then switch back on. But it has to be like so much warmer than what it's actually set at in order for the thermostat to kick off, that the user interface on this is wonky, period. It's just wonky. Now, if we turn it on, there are controls on the top also, which, you know, they're a little bit better, but they're also, you got to kind of memorize what they are and what they do, because some of them do dual functions. And I'm not really that invested in it to go ahead and memorize that at this point. So this is going to be just saved as an emergency backup. This is not going to go into use as I had originally planned for it because of all these things that I'm talking about right now. Now we'll go ahead and switch the unit on. You can see it does have a nice clear display on it, right? But you'll notice right off the bat that the little clock is present. So every time you turn it on, it's automatically put itself into a timer mode. And you have to cancel that timer mode in order to get it to run in temperature mode. Now right now, this thing is kicking out some heat, and it says it's 71.2, right? That's what it thinks it is. If I click the setting, it's set at 78. So we'll go all the way around, 95, and starts at 59. I'll set it at, say, 67, right? It just said it was 72. Well, wait. It just said it's 72 degrees in here, 71.6. This thing's still throwing heat. It's throwing heat in low mode, but it's still throwing heat. So I don't, and the fan's on, right? When it stops throwing heat, the fan just keeps on running. So you never really know, unless you hear the tiny little click of the thermostat, that it's going to stop throwing heat. Again, you have plus and minus buttons on here, but you can't use them for the temperature. All they do is change the heat mode, and it automatically, because I went backwards once, it automatically goes to high heat mode on its own. And even if you choose the low heat mode, and number 1 is just fans only, right? So you'll hear the click when the heat kicks on, and you hear the fan speed kind of drop a little bit, which is also a little concerning. I don't know why the fan speed would drop in a properly designed circuit on a heater just because the heat unit kicked on. Like, the fan speed should stay constant no matter if the heat's on or if the heat's off, or if the heat's on high or the heat's on low. It doesn't matter. It should stay constant in a properly designed circuit. So again, see how it says 83 here? It's 83.6. This thing's throwing heat right now, even though my temperature is set to 68. Why is it doing that? I have no idea, guys. I have no idea. The temperature set to 68. You just seen it. And it's now 83 in this little space, or 72 now, because I'm blocking the heat and throwing the heat back at the unit with my body in front of the washing machine here. So really, I mean, now it's on low, and it's just very hard to operate. If I switch it to number 3, the fan speeds go up, and it's throwing heat again. It's 72 in here right now. Well, the thing thinks it's 72.5 in here right now. This thing is throwing high heat on high, even though the thermostat's set at 69. And I have to hit the thermostat button again, and every time I hit the thermostat button, the temperature goes up one. So even if I just want to view what temperature I have it set at, it clicks it up a degree every time I touch the thermostat button, which is really frustrating. And you have to go all the way around in order to get back to the temperature that you kind of want it at. So anyway, guys, this thing is just really confusing. It has kind of a mind of its own. You have to really pay attention to what you're doing when you set your initial settings, and the thermostat brain box that controls this unit is, I don't know if it's not programmed correctly or if it's faulty or what the deal is, but on this particular unit, I can set this thing for 64, 65, 66 degrees, and this thing will throw heat all the way until about 78, 80 degrees, and then it'll click off the heating function and just run the fans. But then it'll click back on way above the 66, 67, 68 that I have it set on, and this will always be like 73 to 84 degrees. So even in a wide open room when I'm not standing in front of it. So I don't know, and it, like I said, it didn't come with batteries. It does feel decently well made. It's got a little bit of heft to it. It doesn't feel like a hollow box of plastic or anything. This is a metal grill, obviously. But again, I mean, I'm not really thrilled about the whole computer fan thing being used on a heater. It is relatively quiet compared to other heaters in this size range, I would say. Oh, here's the other thing. Maybe it'll do it. If I turn this off, it'll start to oscillate by itself. So you can't keep it still when you switch it off. Oh, now it's not doing it. So that does it when it feels like it. So most of the time when I switch it off, it oscillates back and forth a couple times, and then it'll turn itself off, which is weird. And I understand that in the manual it says that it will run the fan for a couple seconds after it is powered off in order to cool off the heating element. And I appreciate that, but it doesn't have to oscillate. If I have something here that I don't want being blown around, then I don't want it being blown around just because I turned the unit off. Yeah, it's not doing it now. It was just doing it. Maybe because I unplugged it and plugged it back in again, it reset itself. But it was doing it almost every single time when I turned the unit off. It would oscillate by itself. So yeah, here's the oscillation on the unit, and then I'll let you guys go. So it's kind of a limited range also. So it goes from about the corner to the corner. So it's about a 45 degree offset, and then a 45 degree offset to the other side. And there's no speed control on the oscillation or anything. You get what you get. You get what you see here. You can't speed it up or slow it down, and you can't set the range either. Like, you can't stop it at a certain point. So like, I know like some units, see, I'll turn it off and it'll continue to oscillate as it cools off, which is fine with me when I have it in oscillation mode. But if I have it in standard mode, look, now it won't even go into standard mode. If I turn it off, it's in standard mode. Yep, there it goes. It's oscillating again. So as soon as you mess with the oscillation, it wants to oscillate on power down. I don't understand why. So anyway, guys, there's a quick look at it. Yeah, a quick 11, 12-minute look at it. I'm not thrilled with it. I would not order it again. It's kind of wonky. It's weird. And I don't know. I just don't like it. And because of the way it operates and the fact that it is a small heater device, I don't trust it to leave it alone. I will not run this when I am not present. So this one's I'm not thrilled with at all, and I wouldn't tell friends and family to run out and buy one, is basically where I sit at with it. So there you go, guys. Appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope that helped you make a purchase decision on this particular item, and have a great day. Oh, this cord also gets warm. All the way, the full length of the cord gets warm. None of my other heaters do that, and that really concerns me. I wanted to mention that before I close the video out. This cord gets warm, and I don't like that at all. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Have a good day. Bye.
Hello guys, a quick review for the Minthouz ceramic fan heater. So I'm using this at the moment in my office, and I only plan to use it here because the main reasons I've got children. I think that fan it gets really hot. Even if you just put your hands there, at some point it starts to burn, and this metal grill here also gets really hot. And my 17-month-old, it's ruins for disaster. And also I fear my son may one day push some toys or whatever in front of it without actually paying attention and potentially be a fire hazard. So I'm using it in the office, and it's perfect for me because of the height. It reaches my body better. There are smaller ones which works well for like desktops, but the problem with that is that you're really focusing on your face, whereas this one gets half the body, and then it sort of rises and fills up the area with warm heat eventually, so which is great. You've got touch, as you've got buttons on top over here, and they all function perfectly. And you can set a temperature you want off, manual. I think this goes through the menu, I'm not quite sure. I prefer the remote control. Remote control has a lot more features and functions. And for example, this one, if you decide to use it in the bedroom, this does emulate, but it's not very bright. It's actually quite dim. But if you prefer to have it off completely, there's a little button right there, and you press that, it turns off. And you can set the timer and turn off the timer. It goes up to 12 hours, so that's quite impressive. I'll just show you there. So, see it 9, 10, 12, and then back to 1. And then you can remove that with a press of button right there. And then you can set the temperature as you please. If you set it below 20, as long as the temperature is reading around 20.2, and I've set it to, that's the speed of the fan. So you can decrease it and increase it. That's the loudest it gets. If you press, apologies now, if you press that, then you can set the temperature. I've set it to 22, because it's kind of comfortable 22. Let's say you set it something below that, say like 17, it will switch over to fan, which is great because you can also use it in the summer, I guess. Also, it does the rotate left and right, which again, there's no creaking or noise coming out of that rotation, so it's fantastic. So I'm really happy with it. The build quality actually feels really good. Even though it's plastic, it has a solid build, which is what we need. So all in all, I'm actually pretty impressed with this one. I'd prefer to keep on number 2, but you could take it down if you wanted to. So you've got a small like bedroom or small room that you want to warm up. 3 is a bit too much, and it just keeps on turning on and off, because when you set the temperature, it sort of turns off until the temperature goes back down. And then I guess below the desired temperature, it kicks in again and goes over again. So yeah, it's and obviously with if you take the speed up to the highest, it would warm up a very large room for fairly quickly as well.
Questo è il timer. Poi abbiamo la possibilità di far girare quindi la stufetta, bloccarla, diminuire la temperatura, quindi da 1 a 3. Quando si spegne o si diminuisce la temperatura si avverte inizialmente un rumore un po' più persistente, altrimenti la stufa di per sé è molto silenziosa. Poi si può regolare la temperatura e ci dice anche i gradi che raggiunge in quel momento, e questo quando si spegne